Hey guys, Prince of Macedon here. Gonna do a replay commentary for Men of War Assault Squad 2. I'll be commanding the Japanese on the facility map on Assault Zone settings. My opponent's name is juanbanzaitoratora. He'll be commanding the Soviet Union. Now the flag of war is off so that we can see all the units come out, but when you're playing a live game, you can't see your opponent's units until your troops see it. So it's a bit more realistic. So anyways, I'm going to go right towards the middle, and so is my opponent. I'm using marksman to do it, and my opponent, I believe, is using assault zone, or assault squad to do it. And at the same time, we're tackling each of our respective natural flag points with a rifleman. I'm also using a machine gunner to protect my rifleman, whereas my opponent's using, I think, pure rifleman. So I'm tapping that natural with my rifleman, gonna try to control it. And we're duking it out with a firefight in the middle. So there's my opponent using a rifleman to take his natural flag point. I call it the natural flag point because it's the flag point closest to your spawn point. So my marksmen are composed of Special Navy Landing Force personnel, pretty elite. I'm going to use a rifleman to try to tap the middle flag zone, but he takes out that terrain box and takes out my rifleman behind it. So now I have to use a more elite unit to take that flag, which I don't like doing because they're a bit more elite and they cost a bit more, so I don't want to throw them right into the frying pan. So my opponent has used a rifleman to flank me, as you can see, and he's actually going to kill one of my guys with a lowly rifleman, I believe, so it's pretty sad. So when I see what's happening, I'll peel back my other soldier, there he is, and I'm going to have him duke it out with his lowly rifleman. But you would think, you know, the elite status of my SNL, or my Special Navy Landing Force troops, would be enough to wipe out that guy immediately. But it takes a while to take him out, unfortunately. So here's a little shootout. One of these shots will take him out. There you go, boom! Took way too long, though. Anyways, to break the deadlock, I have spawned out a light tank, which is the Hago. I want to take out his units, duking it out with my units in the middle. At the same time, my opponent's bringing out a squad of Soviet infantry to tackle my natural flag point, but right now the fight's in the middle. I brought up my Hago close enough to just wipe out his infantry squad right there. So I wanted to hit my opponent's natural flag point with my Hago, but at that same point, my opponent's Soviet infantry started to harass my natural flag point. So I spin my tank around and go right back towards his squad over there, because my natural is only protected by one rifleman and one machine gunner. So since I have the wheels, I might as well use them. So I can stay here and just wipe out this infantry squad. All but one Soviet soldier will survive. Can you guess which one it is? It's gonna be the commander. But I'm gonna wipe these guys out. You don't want to get too close to those guys because they could toss anti-tank grenades, which would wipe out your lightly armored light tank here. And for my money, I think the Hago is a pretty good, effective early battle vehicle. It might be lightly armored, but it's still got a pretty good machine gun and a pretty effective gun to take out lightly armored vehicles, such as this BA-11 coming. When I saw that BA-11 coming, I brought my light tank towards the middle. And with my first shot, I took out 3 crewmen in that vehicle, so it's pretty much not effective. But with the new patch, it's hard to tell when a tank is in op, so I keep shooting at it until it smokes like that, or until it blows up. That's the surefire way of telling if a vehicle is destroyed, is to see it go up in flames like that. Now my opponent's going to respond by moving up an anti-tank team, which is composed of a commander and one grunt here to carry the big freaking anti-tank rifle. See it? That thing is huge. Now this thing has some serious range on it, and because my vehicle is lightly armored, it's going to be very effective on taking on my Hago, which I'm struggling to move it, as you can see. So watch his first shot from his anti-tank rifleman. It takes out my engine. Well, it damages it. So now my Hago is disabled at the moment. I'm bringing up paratroopers to tackle his natural flag point. I kill my own guy with a grenade, oops, and then I peel back 2 paratroopers, and I put them on guard detail to protect my Hago. Because my engine's disabled, I need to take out some crew to repair my my light tank here, because I definitely want to get it rolling again and take out more Soviet infantry. So I look beyond here, and you see a Soviet squad coming. I believe it's Marines. Yeah, they're Marines. Pretty cool elite unit of the Soviets to bring to battle. But I'm gonna push forward here. He only has one guy protecting his natural flag point at this point, and I'm pretty confident my paratroopers can take on this lightly defended flag point. My opponent is putting most of his personnel into the middle. He's got like he still is his captain at my natural, but it's not doing anything. In fact, he just died. You can see it disappeared from the minimap. And from this point forward, my natural flag point will be very quiet. So my vehicle's repaired. I'm gonna get my tank rolling again. Unfortunately, he still has his anti-tank unit over there, and I did not know what it was at the time. I thought it might have been an artillery piece. I wasn't sure. So I can bring up my Hago. His first shot again takes out the track on my Hago. He misses a few more times with his anti-tank rifle. My tank is disabled again because of the track. And I do have a flame tank coming up now. I want to double team that middle flag point, take out whatever is taking out my tank. Now I got my crew injured. Now I like using these units in the special unit section because they're almost free basically. I mean, they do take up command points, but they are, I believe they're independent of your MP source. That's why they're special units. So he has taken out more crew on my Hago. It's very sad. With that one unit right there, I think that's a hero of the Soviet Union right now. And he also took out my hull just now. Now my tank definitely needs repairs. It's not going to operate at this point until I repair it. So I have my flame tank coming towards the middle, and he's going to respond by bringing up a light tank destroyer, the Su-76. At this point, I do see the Su-76, so I know it's going to take out my flame tank, but I get close enough to take out his Marines. With one sweep of the mouse with direct control, I take out all of his Marines. I think that's a pretty cost-effective trade, taking out Marines. A full squad of them at the cost of one flame tank. But the problem is, now he's got that tank destroyer right in the middle. So I'm going to respond by bringing up a medium tank, and it'll be my Chinu. And I'm actually going to start repairing my Hago soon. Yeah, there they are. They're repairing it. Definitely cannot take on a tank destroyer, but I still want to get it repaired, move it out of the way, and use it as a mobile machine gun platform. So with my Chinu, I want to go down towards my opponent's natural flag point. Reason being is I want to, one, support my infantry in their holding my opponent's natural flag point, and more importantly, I want to flank his light tank destroyer right there. Now, in the battle between my tank and his light tank destroyer, my tank has all the advantages, because the tank destroyer has to point its entire vehicle in a certain direction to aim its weapon, whereas my tank, it can move its vehicle in any direction and then rotate its turret independently of the vehicles, aiming in any direction. So my tank definitely has so many advantages over that tank destroyer. So I want to take it out. So he sees that I'm bringing up a tank, so he's going to move his tank destroyer in position. So there it is. He sees what I'm doing. He's ready for it. There he is, being a little creeper right there. I see what you're doing. At least in the replay. So I go this way, and then I see him spin that way, so I'm going to spin the other way. I'm not going to go in there and get disabled by that light tank destroyer. So he does a little mistake right there. So I'm going to keep rushing forward here. He's aiming completely in the wrong direction. I don't know where the attention is, but with my first shot, I take out that light tank destroyer. So as I said, I want to keep shooting at that thing. I want to make sure it's disabled. So at this point, my opponent does spawn out a T-34-76. So this is going to start the medium tank on medium tank action. But I'm currently doing really well in the vehicle battle department. You know, I've taken out his light tank destroyer, taken out his BA-11, and I still have my Hago. It just needs repairs. So I see his T-34 coming at this point, and I switch to direct control, and I will get the first shot off. Unfortunately, my first shot doesn't do anything. See that? Now, during the live commentary, it was actually lagging hardcore, So I was trying to move my infantry nearby to use their anti-tank grenades. Unfortunately, the lag was killer. I could not move him out in time. So he takes out my track. Takes it out again. I need some serious repairs on my Chinu. And at this point, I do take out my infantry. And they do toss their anti-tank grenades, but it does nothing. Except this, I think it takes out his track. It does something to force it to need repairs. See that little wrench sign on it? I don't see the track's damage. I might have disabled the engine, maybe. Not sure. But he's going to bring up a half-track filled with Marines. And I'm going to respond by bringing up a fresh new Chinu. I wanted to get there in time to save my other Chinu. I can tell you right now, I don't get there in time. And I'm also going to bring up a half-track filled with paratroopers. So there go his Marines. He's going to rush my Chinu and take it out. So I do not get there in time to save my Chinu. But that's okay, I have another Chinu coming, and his T-34 is repairing, so that's a good sign. I got a half-track coming. And here's my brand new Chinu. Unfortunately, I have all 3 flag points. This game's going to end before I get any kind of revenge, but I guess the ultimate revenge is winning. So I take out his crew, I win the battle. Good game to my opponent, juanbanzaitoratora. Hope you enjoyed the replay commentary. It's kind of harder with replays, because with Men of War, so many things happen, it's hard to keep up. Hope you enjoyed it, though.